What's up, guys? Mark here. Today I'm going to do a kind of a mini detail on the Datsun because it's been sitting outside lately selling the house, so I don't have any room in the garage. It's a mess. So I've got the GTR in the garage and then a bunch of other stuff including Hot Wheels. So today we're gonna clean this up. Might give you a couple nice little revs. We're gonna clean the engine bay up and try to shine this thing up and keep it protected. Let's go. So this thing's been sitting outside for a couple months now, so we're gonna do some decontamination on it, clay barring. We're gonna foam it and get all the I've got some sap on there. We're gonna get all that off, and then we're gonna put a coat of protection on it, maybe do a little bit of buffing. But the goal is just to keep this car clean because it's not in the garage right now. So we're gonna continue to fill these buckets up here and get started on washing this beautiful little 69 Datsun 510. This is my own personal car. It's very near and dear to my heart, and I just love this thing. So this is my rinse bucket. This is one of my favorite strainers here to get all the dirt out. It's called a scrub wall, and it has the kind of tornado type one on the bottom and then this one on the side. I got this one at carzilla.com. No, they're not a sponsor of mine, but I just enjoy their customer service, and they've got some incredible products. They're out of Canada, but they'll ship anywhere. So this is one of the best things that I've purchased. And then the other one that I use is, I believe that's from Chemical Guys right there, and it helps get all the dirt, keeps it down at the bottom of the bucket so you don't put it back on the car. So when washing your car, we're always going to want to start with the wheels first, especially if they're really dirty. If they're barely dirty, then we're not too worried about it, but you still have a lot of, excuse big truck here, you have still a lot of grime on the wheels, brake dust, metal particulates, stuff like that. So a couple of my favorite wheel cleaners. Surprisingly enough, Jay Leno's Garage makes a really good, strong, heavy-duty wheel cleaner. It's basically the same as Griot's and some other higher dollar ones, but it's much cheaper, and you can actually get it in a gallon as well for relatively cheap. I don't know the price off the top of my head, but I know that it's at least half the cost of a lot of these other wheel cleaners. Another good wheel cleaner, if you don't want to go very abrasive or very hard on wheels, is these Meguiar's like Pro Series non-acid wheel cleaner. This is also a good wheel cleaner, a little bit more in cost. So we're gonna clean these wheels up here, these Epsilons. My go-to brushes are this little small one to kind of get in these hard to reach spots in here. We've got this larger one here too. You can get this at AutoZone. And then we've also got this, I believe this is a Griot's Garage. This one's really good to get the face of the wheel. And then you've got your little detail brush here to get in spots that you can't reach with the bigger brushes. So those are my go-to. I usually use a wheel liner brush too, but this car is too low and too hard to get in there, so we're not going to do that today. So let's get these wheels clean. Because this car's been sitting outside and we have a little bit of browning going on these tires, toys. I can't talk today. We're going to use some Adams rubber and tire cleaner to get that nice and clean and back to black, and then we'll use an Adams graphene tire dressing on it after that. So you want to lather this on there real good and let it kind of sit for a second to get a lot of that grime off there, oxidization, however you say that. I don't know English. Let it sit on there for a second, and as you can see the brown coming off of here. This rubber and tire cleaner by Adams is also really great to use with all other floor mats. That also works incredible as well. So we're gonna let that sit on there for a sec, really scrub it in there, and then we'll wipe it off. And we've got clean tires again. So the purple you see here is the metal that it's finding and taking out, and this stuff works great. It works exactly like the heavy duty griots, but like I said, far less money. And like I said before, guys, you want to make sure you're using one bucket just for cleaning the wheels because of all the road grime, metal, and particulates that you're going to get in this bucket. So you're going to dump it out after you're done. You're going to use 2 other buckets for the wash and rinse method for the rest of the car. Alright, so once we got the wheels cleaned, we are going to get this thing rinsed off with I use an Adams pressure washer. I love that thing. It's very quiet, very powerful, very consistent. No issues with it yet. It's been well over a year. This is my foam gun of choice. I believe it's MGT. I've tried a lot of the cheap ones off Amazon and all that. Not worth it to me. This one's about 80 to 100 bucks, but it works by far better than all those other cheap ones. Mr. Pink is one of the foam soaps I love to use because it just foams the best. And so we are in a little bit of direct sunlight today, so we're gonna have to keep this thing lathered and not let it dry on the car because that's just going to create more work. For water in here, I use warm water and distilled water as well, just so you don't clog this thing up. It's just my choice. I do things overkill half the time, so just the way that I do it. Once you get this thing filled with the correct amount, whatever you want to use, everybody uses different amounts of soap. Some just use half the bottle to get tons of suds. And for me, I use probably 6 to 10 squirts. Does the job. I don't feel like I need to waste all my soap to get a good lather on the car so that we can continue to wash it. So you just gently shake it up here, just like move it around, and you don't want to make too much bubbles inside this thing. So let's get to it. So you got to be quick when you dry this thing, especially in direct sunlight. This is my favorite drying towel. I got this also from Carzilla. Not sponsored, just love those guys. And this thing soaks up a ton, very plush, and it works great, especially on a little car like this.